DeepSeek AI. Oh, trust me, today's video is going to be difficult and interesting at the same time. I'm going to bring back one of my favorite guests, Professor Wang Mongyuan here. He has extraordinary insight in this subject regarding AI, and he will explain as to how DeepSeek will help China dominate the AI market, claiming that the AI race between US and China is basically over. Now, I know this is a bold claim, even for me to swallow, because I consider myself to be half American as well. So basically, I am asking the question, well, how can you be so sure? Let's see how Professor Wang explain his thoughts on this, okay? And also, I want my audience to put it into perspective and really think before commenting whether you agree or disagree with him. Here we go. DeepSeek AI. There are many trending new technologies in the world right now, including fusion energy and quantum computing. But according to Professor Wang, only artificial intelligence is capable of actually turning into a beneficial industry within a reasonable time frame. What we are looking at today is not the first generation of AI. The deep learning AI we are experiencing right now started from around 2012. This LLM AI is already considered, I would say, fourth or fifth generation of AI. The first one started as early as 1970s. During the last 5 to 6 decades, the direction of approach for AI research and development continue to change. And only until recently, this 2012 generation, that we have found a way to actually utilize and commercialize it. So we have went through almost 50 years of basic scientific research with close to zero real return on investment. Although after 2012, researchers seem to find a general direction moving forward, Professor Wang said that he still is not sure that there will be some kind of a killer app that can really come out from this current generation of AI that will really leap forward human civilization. Now, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying there's no commercial value in the current generation, but at least what Professor Wang is trying to say is that from a capital investment perspective, a gigantic company need to emerge from this fanatic AI investment, a company that is capable of monopolizing the market and generate, let's say, tens, if not hundreds of billion in revenue in order to justify all the money that's going into the AI sector. The only company currently able to generate billions of revenue through this AI boom is NVIDIA because of their AI GPU chip sales. But remember, this is an indirect revenue generation because people expect AI in the future, the companies, to eventually explode into a company such as Google or Apple. Furthermore, the NVIDIA stock value is not just the result of the AI boom, but also the result of recent monetary quantitative easing policy, which injected a lot of liquidity into the market. However, according to Professor Wang, 2 years ago, okay, the current generation of AI has two huge major flaws, which is why he has serious doubt whether a killer app will ever appear in the current generation of AI. The first major flaw is that the current generation of AI is a result of probability elimination. When a user asks a question, it is using a large quantity of online information data to generate a most likely answer. It is not a result of active reasoning. All the fancy answer you get from the current generation AI is actually just the AI, I would say, pretending to understand what you are asking. But in reality, it is just guessing, okay? This is why the current generation of AI cannot completely remove surgical doctors because they are basically just guessing what they are looking at. Remember, 5 years ago, we are all thinking that AI will replace human as driver, but even today, we are still facing many core challenge that limits its application.
I'm in a Waymo
Connected
car.
to rider support. This call may be recorded for quality assurance.
This car is just going in circles.
Hi there, Mike. This is Gab. I'm calling from Waymo support. I'm just calling because I received a notification that your car might be experiencing some routing issue. Please bear with me while I am.
Yeah, I got a flight to catch. Why is this thing going in a circle? I'm getting dizzy. Look at what it's doing.
Now, what I'm trying to say is that the current generation of AI has its limitation and might reach its ceiling when it comes to real-life application. Best example is when one tried to use it to, let's say, solve Olympic math problems, because many of the math problems are unique and completely new. The AI is unable to find existing example online to provide a feasible solution. Nevertheless, there are two areas I would say that is very suitable for current generation AI. One is writing papers. The other is image and video generation. I mean, look at today's college student who don't use AI to write articles and essays, right? This means that their work can be more or less substituted by AI in the future. Image and video creation, on the other hand, will be used to replace human workload in media and entertainment sector. I'm currently using AI to fine-tune my videos, finally. And last but not least, the current generation AI can also help programmers to accelerate their workflow that actually has a significant economic value. Now, on to the second major flaw is that the current generation AI, according to Professor Wang, has this so-called computing efficiency frontier.
AI models can't cross this boundary, and we don't know why. As we train an AI model, its error rate generally drops off quickly and then levels off. If we train a larger model, it will achieve a lower error rate, but requires more compute. Scaling to larger and larger models, we end up with a family of curves like this. Switching our axes to logarithmic scales, a clear trend emerges, where no model is able to cross this line.
Now, I want my audience to pay very close attention to this, okay? Because this is the core part of this video. The current generation AI, starting from 2012, have went through dozens of upgrades within this generation. And after each upgrade, it gets better, changing the calculation model a bit here and there. However, if you line up the performance of each individual upgrade and put it on a graph, it forms a straight line, okay? The line represents the accuracy of the model versus the calculation volume, and is around 0.05 to the power of 2. What that means is that in order to double the accuracy of an existing model, you need to increase the computing volume by 2 to the power of 20, which comes down to 1 million times. So basically, to double the accuracy of an existing model, you need to roughly push the computing volume by 1 million times. That's the reason why NVIDIA's stock price has been so high, because in order to push for higher accuracy, you need a lot of computing power. And basically, all the upgrades done to the current generation AI model obey this straight line. And my audience need to remember this straight line when I start to talk about DeepSeek, okay? Now, what the DeepSeek team did is to bypass this physical mathematical constant and start to divide the AI into different modulated parts and train them separately. It's like having a master train its apprentice. To use an example, okay? It is very difficult to train an individual human being, a student, and have it ace all the exam in a school. But it is much feasible and easier if you train separate students, one for math, one for history, one for science, physics, biology. Then they can go to the test together and ace all the tests separately. The result is that it's able to achieve the same accuracy with roughly 100 times less computing power. So this is the first major leap through in the current generation AI that's able to basically bend the straight line, not by much. I know 100 times might sound like a lot, but remember, you need 1,000,000 times to double the accuracy. So this only result in roughly 20% increase in accuracy, which is a lot given the same amount of computing power. Now, according to Professor Wang, he anticipated this direction of breakthrough 2 years ago and insists this is the only meaningful way to approach to increase the efficiency of current generation. So it is very unlikely we will witness another leap through like this one within the current generation AI. There are several interesting things about DeepSeek V3. Not only that its raw performance caught up or even surpassed some of the best AI programs in the market right now, but the most impressive thing about DeepSeek is that the cost of development and the cost of operation is only 1% of the other ones in the market right now. And I want my audience to put it into perspective and really think on this, okay? The impact of this breakthrough to the entire industry is huge. And the logic as to why China will dominate the AI market from now on is roughly like this, okay? As I said, the current generation of AI has its limitation when it comes to application. Its economic value, so then, is also finite. It's not like you can toss infinite amount of money and it can still generate return. The economic value behind AI has a cost attached to it, in which raw computing power is a very important element of that. So the more AI chips you have, the faster AI chip you have, the faster and more advanced AI model you can build, right? That's why NVIDIA share has been so high, because people need to buy those chips and train those AIs. This is also why companies consider buying power plants, building new power plants, nuclear reactors. It is because you need to generate a lot of energy to satisfy those power-hungry computers. And also the energy need to be used to cool those facilities that house those equipments. Now, what China did is that they came out with an algorithm that basically slashed the operation cost to just 1% of the existing one, in which the performance can match, if not surpass, the existing ones as well. It is like the TV show, Silicon Valley, in which the main character, Richard Hedrick, developed a revolutionary compression software. Let me use an example here, okay? Imagine your regular internal combustion engine car, in which 1 liter of gas can get you roughly around 15 kilometers. Well, you need 100 liters to drive 1,500 kilometers, right? What China did right now is it came out with a device which costs around $50. And when you buy it and attach it to your internal combustion engine, it can drive 1,500 kilometers with just 1 liter of gas. Imagine the impact it will have on crude oil market. Many of the oil companies will go bankrupt because the demand for crude oil will drop sharply, right? And imagine the EV market. It will also go bust as well. Everybody will almost certainly go back to internal combustion engine car because it is much more efficient. And all those investment that goes into EV will go bust as well. How do you feel if you are, Shell or Chevron, when all the cars can upgrade with just, let's say, $50 and 1 tank of gas can last for 2 years on the road for normal usage? Another metaphor is that, for example, NVIDIA chips, the most advanced AI chips out there, is expensive, right? And you need a lot of them to get things running. It's like a gold bar. That's how expensive it is. How to run that gold bar, you also need to have a lot of energy to juice it up. But now the Chinese company basically came out with a technology in which you can use a silver bar and achieve the same performance, and the energy consumption is also far less. So the company that is selling the gold bar is going to collapse, which is what you are seeing with Nvidia stock. And all those infrastructure projects, building power plants, computing centers, what's the point? With this new technology, one center can do the job of 100 previous ones. And with that, the demand for power plants also reduced dramatically. So this new technology from DeepSeek collapsed the entire cost and price structure of the industry, making all those investment unreasonable and meaningless when it comes to return. So China didn't just catch up to the United States. If China has free access to all those high performance chips, DeepSeek will certainly surpass existing American companies. Now, I made a video at the beginning of this channel and I talked about how AI need to be really successful in order to rescue the US economy. And that requires, one, people demand AI service, two, willing to pay a price or let's say a premium to US to justify its return. And third, US need to maintain its dominating position. So even if 1 and 3 stays true, the price structure has been destroyed. And from now on, US can justify charging a premium. And if US can charge a premium, then it cannot rescue the US economy within the short run. It's like you can become rich by charging people to breathe oxygen because it's so cheap. And given China's overall infrastructure and human resources cost advantage, it is almost very difficult. Some will say that there's no way that US can catch up to China from this point onward. Even if US chips continue to stay, twice or 3 times or even 10 times faster than what the Chinese can get in their hands, the difference in accuracy performance will be very marginal. And in the future, unless countries like US has security concern that they do not want to use China's system and insist on using their own, there's really no reason why anyone will choose to use a US system over a Chinese system, because a Chinese system will always win when you account for price per performance ratio. And also Chinese chips are catching up at a fast pace as well. So when it comes to AI, unless someone introduce a new generation of AI that's superior to the current generation LLM, the race for AI supremacy within this generation is basically over. The winner is China. To be honest, Americans shouldn't be too upset because the entire AI market is, to me, basically just a huge bubble. Professor Wong even suggests that 90% of the value is just stock bubbles. So it wasn't really that valuable to begin with. So the race for AI supremacy has been kind of overhyped. And it is not likely to create a company like Microsoft or Intel that can monopolize the industry. And even if a company like that is formed, it might likely be a Chinese company, or let's say 2 competing companies between US and China. And the US company will have to use a lot of identity politics to protect its market. Oh, just to remind you guys, this is not a tech channel. This is a geopolitical channel. And the geopolitical impact of this Chinese AI release is huge. Remember a few videos ago, I said US need to maintain the strength of its currency and also maintain the strength of its capital market. Now that capital market is kind of wiggling a little bit, let's see how US respond to that. That being said, I think this is definitely a win for science and for us collective human beings, because AI will become a lot more affordable from now on. Hope I didn't burn a hole in your brain in this video. Let me know what you think.